Wow, I look good. Don't I look good? Wow, you look good.
I'll just say it.
Yeah, try and sit for as long as you can doing that.
Alright,
I fear you might pass out if you keep doing that. Welcome to Friday Brew. We're back this week. Last week, Brendan was in the Killarney studio and I was off.
So I was in the gym actually.
I was in the gym all weekend.
I've just been in the gym and no worries.
So it's Andrew Morrissey, Brendan Fuller here, and this week's episode we're going to cover all the serious issues ahead of the general election weekend. This just in.
Can't do it.
I can't do it. I do it because it's going to pass out. I also will be both leaning down quite a bit during this because we have no table.
Yeah.
Normally off camera.
Budget cuts.
Yeah, budget cuts. If you go back over previous episodes, you'll probably see the little table. But here's a little behind the scenes info for you. It's a table that I steal from reception. And it actually happened one week that after the podcast, I forgot to return the table to reception. And Marie came in on Monday morning. She's like, lads, someone stole our table. The table's gone. Someone actually stole the table. And I was like, ooh, shit, that's upstairs. So I have no table this week because I just didn't get it. Cock lads, kid. So anyway, cheers. It being Friday Brew and all. Any crack? I didn't get a chance to talk to you really properly all week.
Yeah, last weekend was a mental weekend. So
you had the crack in Cork, didn't you?
Yeah, so I did the show from Killarney because I was in the Cork Comedian of the Year final. Stupid competition. Never liked it. Never even wanted to enter it.
Guess no, I didn't win that competition.
I didn't win. So my like 15-minute bit went really well.
Yeah.
And then at the end you had to do like 2 minutes on a random topic. I was first up on the night, so I hadn't seen anyone else do their 2-minute kind of, improv. So I did grand. I did okay. It was cycling on a bike, which sounds like, oh, there's loads you can talk about. I ended up talking about the Ring of Kerry a little bit, and then I don't know. It was okay. I did okay, but I would have loved to have been like at least second, because then you get a feel and see what they do and how do you approach it. But class experience. Love to do it again. And then Sunday. Sunday was a mental day as well, because we watched the BAFTAs before the Super Bowl, and the BAFTAs was actually better than the Super Bowl. Didn't think Brendan Fuller would ever say that, but my cousin Jessie Buckley was on it. She was nominated for Best Lead Actress for her role in Wild Rose, and she didn't win that. Stupid prize anyway. She didn't even want to enter it or win it.
Never liked the BAFTAs.
Bullshit prize. But she sang on the night.
She did.
She performed Glasgow, and it was amazing. And her dad Tim came over to watch it with us, and it was class. It was just unreal.
Jerry played, I'd say 2/3, if not almost all of it, on Monday morning's Kerry Today.
Yeah.
And because I knew she performed, but I didn't hear it. I didn't see any of the BAFTAs. Only, you know the way when, especially with Elaine, I get up early in the morning with the breakfast show, you literally see the list of the winners or whatever. So I knew Jessie had performed, and she was on the front of the Independent as well, the Irish Independent. She looked phenomenal.
Yeah, all right,
she looked
man,
really
that's my cousin. Easy up.
No, but she looked stunning. And then Jerry played the clip, and Jesus Christ, she was class.
Yeah, no, she was
absolutely class.
Yeah, and cool as breeze, like, didn't bother her at all. But the other highlight of the BAFTAs was obviously Jessie was there, but she was sitting a few rows behind Quentin Tarantino and whoever else was with him.
Who's he now?
He's a director fella. He's written a few movies. And Jessie brought her boyfriend Freddie, who's a gas man, met him a few times, legend altogether, and her brother Killian, who is obviously my cousin as well, and a complete gas man. He lands on his feet. No matter what he's doing, he'll just land on his feet. He's living in the Alps at the moment, training people how to go up and down mountains. And he's climbed ridiculously dangerous places. And then he's just there in the BAFTAs. He had his own stylist for the night and everything. And like, the man is like 6'4", and he looked like a Hollywood star, and he's sitting there a few rows behind Quentin Tarantino. It was just class.
That's
it was unreal.
Cool.
Yeah. Savage. So we watched that, and then it was almost like a come down watching the Super Bowl after, because it was so amazing. Like, it was unbelievable.
I did tell you this during the week. Obviously I didn't watch the Super Bowl live tonight because I happened to get up early, but I watched the highlights of it. We'd say the highlights reel on Monday evening, and the most exciting part of it was that final 10 minutes of the last quarter, because that's where they were 21-10 down, and 21-10 down, wasn't it? And I was kind of like, oh, is it going to... And then it turned out to be...
I thought the first half was good. I love a good close match, even if it's a low scoring or a high scoring match, if it's like within one score. But then the second half, it seemed like 49ers have it. And then the Chiefs took over the game. And towards the end of it, it was actually kind of boring because they were like 11 points. They just destroyed them, blew them out of the water in the end.
And can I just say, phenomenal,
Yeah.
the halftime show.
Yeah.
I thought,
class, right.
like, Jennifer Lopez is 52 or 51,
50.
was that? Is it 50 on the button?
50 on the button,
She
yeah.
is incredible, and Shakira was class. Lights were cool, the sound was actually much better than other years, and just, like, whether you were into the singing and the singing in the light show or not, the dancing was absolutely ridiculous. And, like, I say that now as clearly an expert, but just as a spectacle to watch.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it was class. My favourite halftime show for a long time now, I
Well,
have to
the
say.
lads in the rugby club, they were talking about it because they all met up in one of the lads' houses, and they were there watching it, and they were all chatting during the game because they wouldn't really know about American football. Apparently, not a word was said during the halftime show. They were all glued to it.
I watched it.
It was very good. It was class halftime show. It was the best because there were two unreal artists with a load of tunes down through the years.
From a production nerdy DJ perspective, whoever actually did the mix of music for both of them, I was actually sitting there like this.
Yeah, for the music, all right, yeah.
For the music, of course. But really enjoyed that. So my week, I was off then for the week, and I was at the Kerry Wedding show the previous week. I was saying we were going to go to that.
I was too cool for that. I dropped Eve
heard.
off, went for pints with her dad.
I heard that. I ended up dying sick after it. I picked up some sort of weird bug, and it was wiped out for 3 days.
You should have went for pints with me.
I should have.
You should have just said, Una, I'm a man.
To be
I don't care about
fair,
this.
I did go for pints on the. See, this is what happened. I went for pints on the Sunday evening after the Kerry Wedding show was over, and my parents were down and went for a bite to eat and we had a few drinks, whatever. So woke up on the Monday morning and I felt horrible. We stayed in Killarney, and I thought, I'm just hungover. So as the day went on, I wasn't improving at all, and it turned out I had some sort of weird bug. I had no appetite. I couldn't keep anything down. I won't get into the graphic detail, but here's a video. No, and then by Wednesday I felt
You've just gone wake.
kind of okay.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no.
Where did you stay actually in Killarney?
Stayed in the Killarney Heights Hotel.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So we booked in there or whatever, and we ended up then. We had a great day, great night, but as I said, wiped out till Wednesday. Kind of started to come around a bit more on Thursday. I was back to my usual self by the Friday, but but you know, whilst I was feeling kind of shitty and sick, I had no plans, thankfully, for the week off.
Yeah,
and I
you didn't. It was very upsetting. It was like, what are you going to do with your week off? I think I'll just do bits of work, jobs around the house.
Yeah, jobs around the house.
For an entire week,
Yeah,
it's grand if you're off a day
Yeah,
or 2 days.
yeah.
Because that's kind of what I did last.
I did. I cleaned
recovered from the hangover, did a load of jobs that I don't have time to do.
I cleaned the car, I cleaned the house, and I watched a lot of TV. A lot of TV. So,
but it's fine because you were sick. But if you weren't sick, I'd be giving out to you. I'd be saying, you're young, you're fit.
You're young and you're
healthy.
fit, and you're flying it.
Yeah.
But so that was my week off. So obviously we're back this week. If you're
Are we?
listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, there's a video accompanying this, which is on the Radio Kerry Facebook page. You can have a look there. If you're watching this on the video, hello there, how are you?
Oh, geez.
You can
I
subscribe
actually didn't know.
to the audio. You can subscribe to the audio and wherever you get your podcasts as well. So, do you want to start this week? What have you got for us?
I will, yeah. Google Maps.
Right?
15 years old today.
Okay.
So it was
one of the handiest tools ever.
Introduced in 2005. So me and Eve, we were scouting for wedding locations. We were going down to West Cork, Clonakilty, and it's a place where she's very familiar with, has been there years, like many, many times. I've been there once or twice. I've never driven there. So I was like, she's great. She's the co-pilot, right? So, and there's Google Maps. Threw that on, trusted Eve and Google Maps to direct us. There's something gone arseways with Google Maps because it gives you the quickest route as opposed to the most logical route. Like,
Sufficient.
It'll save you 3
Efficient,
minutes by going through fucking back roads and farmers' fields. Lads, I swear to God, people give out about the roads in Kerry. West Cork.
Disaster?
It's mental. It's like a third world country. I swear to God, there's no road markings. We went through a crossroads, which was just like a big, like roundabout of tarmac.
Were you heading towards Clonakilty?
Yeah, but we went through Kilmurray.
Right. Oh, okay.
And this is
right.
thanks to Google Maps.
Because I was just going to say, Clonakilty
it
is not
felt like
that
I was going to
difficult.
get ambushed myself.
But
Like,
it's
I was
not,
like,
it's not that difficult to get to Clonakilty from Killarney.
I know, but ever since, I'm just like, right, we'll just go.
You'll take this route instead. Yeah.
go
Okay.
Macroom,
Okay.
go through Macroom, take the turn off then after Lasarda, I think.
Tis. Yeah.
Cookstown,
Yeah.
Crookston,
Crookstown, and you'll see a sign for Bandon as well. Which is on
Bandon,
the same
go
road,
through
yeah,
Bandon and just stay in the fucking main roads because Christ on a bike, like. It is worrying when you're driving around, you don't have a clue where you are. Google Maps doesn't have a clue where you are. It's telling you to turn right, turn right, turn right, even though on the map it's going up and left. And then you're seeing signs everywhere about ambushes, and you're like, "This is it." Like we are.
A couple of years ago, I was in
Meet our end.
I was in Dublin a couple of years ago, and I don't know Dublin at all. I just haven't a clue, right? And so I Google Maps on. This is probably about 10 years ago when Google Maps was first on smartphones or whatever on an app. And I had it plugged in, so she was coming through the radio, like, you know.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Turn left, blah blah blah." So the road layout of where I was, I think it was Clondalkin. Maybe it's anyway, wherever I was, the road layout had actually changed, so it was no longer a two-way; it was now a one-way with a kind of a dual carriageway thing. But sure, she had me turning off, and then, like Google Maps had me turning on. It now had me turning down a one-way, and I remember I saw guards and everything. They must have been thinking, "This guy is drunk," because he didn't. Because I was putting on the indicator, I was like, "No, I can't turn there." Next thing she's like, "Turn right," and then so it's recalculating like a SatNav would.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I thought I was going to crash the car eventually. How I didn't get pulled in by the squad car, which had seen me, like.
You know,
but he
you
must
come
have
into
thought,
Dublin-
sure, he's lost. The
You know, you
creator.
come into Dublin and there's like, it's very confusing because you're going up and over humps and everything, and there's like 4 lanes, and it's like, you know, go straight and you're like, I'll stay straight. And then all of a sudden it's like, go left, and the left is 4 lanes away. Ah, Christ, it's got me out twice anyway because of the stupid bloody SatNavs. And me not having a clue about driving.
I
hate city driving. It's
The
the
only
only
time-
ban cities actually.
But do you know?
Shouldn't build them anymore.
Do you know the way you always see these stories in the paper of somebody who was, was using their SatNav or Google Maps
Awful
in that
coffee
case.
as well, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
And they end up inside in a river or like that. They take some sort of farmer's field and then they get stuck. Well, the only time I ever really had a problem with SatNav, other than that trip to Dublin, because eventually, once you go past the exit 3 times, Google will eventually point in the right direction. SatNav, when we went to the Euros in 2016, we arrived into, I know, like he's always got, I never talk about it. We arrived into Roscoff on the ferry and then drove to Paris. So we were only on the motorway in France 35 minutes, 40 minutes. And the SatNav, and not Google Maps, one of the actual SatNavs, right, which we borrowed from a friend of ours, said take the next right. So we were only just on the motorway, like, so I was like, okay, take the next right. And the next thing, 2 of the lads had kind of, all I heard was, they were asleep while the other lad and I were chatting away. Next, he was like, "Are you sure you're supposed to take this turn?" I was like, "Well, the SatNav." I said, "Look, you see it, the SatNav takes this turn." So the next thing, we're inside in this little country village somewhere on the outskirts of Paris. We're like, this can't be right, like. So when we said, right, we'll turn around, we'll go back to the motorway, we'll get back on the motorway. And sure enough, as soon as we got back on the motorway, the SatNav changed itself and had us going. Apparently, we weren't supposed to turn off for another 200k. And this yoke had us, sure, I didn't know where I was going. Driving through this peaceful little Parisian village on the outskirts of Paris somewhere, and just...
Was it lovely, though?
Oh, it's class. It was very
that's what
very
Google Maps
picturesque.
is doing.
Well, this thing anyway, I tell you
to
what.
see this place now, I'd say. Sure, the lads are gone for a kip. They'll have missed out on this now.
Yeah,
that's
but
Google
then
Maps
they
is
woke
saying.
up, "Oh, I knew you shouldn't have been the one who was driving." I was like, "Giro, tell him, did the SatNav not just tell me to turn off right up here?" And he's like, and then do you know what he said? "No, I didn't see that. Dickhead hung me out to dry." Anyway, so that's my knowledge and my grrr with SatNavs.
Tell you what's special about today, 7th of February. It is 7th, isn't it? Yep. By the way, I hate this month because I can't say it on the radio.
February.
I just feel like I'm saying it wrong no matter what way I pronounce it. I might say February or February or February. February. Don't know how to say it. Feb. I'm just saying the second month of the year. I hate February.
Month number 2.
I can't do it, like, and it's all in my head. And when it's not February,
that's right,
I can say it. You see, but I won't. I just can't say it when you overthink. It's one of those words.
Go on anyway. What about today?
Today is the birthday of the most famous person in Ireland. Do you know who it is?
The most famous person in Ireland? Haven't a clue. And I did the birthday book this morning on the Breakfast Show, so I have no idea.
30 today. Have a guess.
The most famous person in... It's not Maura Higgins, is it?
No.
30 today. Nah, I'll never get this.
Jacksepticeye. He's a YouTuber and he's got 23 million subscribers.
Your man from Westmeath.
Yes, at loan. Yeah.
Oh my God, he
Yeah.
is absolutely loaded.
Yeah, he's loaded. Yeah. And yeah.
You're right, he is the most famous person in Ireland.
He's the most famous person in Ireland. And if you're watching, you're like, he's not famous. I don't know him. 23 million YouTube subscribers. I just had a look at his YouTube channel there. Yesterday, he uploaded a video. It was 15 hours ago, and it's almost got 1 million views already. So daily, he's getting about 1 million
he has a
views.
huge following worldwide,
Yeah.
but in particular in the States. And he doesn't. Is he playing games? Is he a
Yeah,
gamer?
he normally does games, and he does a lot of kind of shouty commentary. It's a little bit childish, if I'm honest. Like it's probably aimed, kind of 8 to 15 years of age. I don't know, but it does seem a little bit childish. But it's very fair play to him, absolute legend, and he's great friends with PewDiePie, who is the Swedish fella, Felix Kjellberg, I think is his real name. And they're like great friends, and he's actually gone off YouTube at the moment. He's taken a big break and everything. So, Jacksepticeye, his birthday today. Bet you didn't know who he was before today.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know him, but
I only heard of him. I think it was you pointed him out to me maybe
Yeah.
last year, the year before. I think they gave a list of the top influencers in the world from a YouTube perspective, and the top the fellow who's making the most money. And Ryan's Toys, we spoke with him only recently on this. He was making the mint, right? But that fella from Athlone, Jack, was it something like 18 million he'd made or something like that? It was frightening. Like it was a class amount of money anyway. But fair play to him. I actually wanted to talk about something techie related as well.
go on, yeah. I actually want to talk about a video game as well.
Yeah, we'll do that. Do you know? Have you've Wi-Fi at home? I take it, have you?
Yes.
Is it good, poor, different, grand? Okay.
It's grand out, good. Yeah.
Well, sometimes do you ever go into somebody's house and it's been insulated, and sometimes you might lose your phone signal, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of new houses, your phone coverage.
Your
goes
phone
to
coverage
shit,
is crap, yeah. Now, to be fair, that doesn't happen quite a lot with Wi-Fi, and I understand that there's plenty of people probably watching this video or listening to this audio who have shite Wi-Fi, especially in somewhere in Kerry. There's just complete black spots.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My parents' house, it's kind of
Is it sketchy?
because we're down in a howl.
there you go.
It's literally called Paul the Muck, which
Well,
is the hole of the pigs or the.
We in my house the broadband router is downstairs, and to be fair, the signal in our house is fairly decent. But when you go upstairs, it does get a little bit weaker. So I bought one of those little broadband booster things. You literally plug it into the wall, you connect it to the Wi-Fi, and actually, to be fair, it did the job. It was only 25 quid or something like that in Argos, right? Grand job. Anyway, there's a new thing after going out now, and here's a picture of it. It's called Smart Wallpaper that can boost your Wi-Fi.
Don't like
Now,
it.
you can see from the picture here on the video that it looks cat, but that's because it's just in development. But they say that this could be a thing eventually. So essentially the wall like this would have these little kind of signal detectors built into it, like microscopic yokes that will boost your Wi-Fi. And no matter where you are, so whether you're in a public area, private area, work, whatever, you should technically never be without a good signal again. That's if this thing takes off. That's a little bit nerdy now, don't get me wrong, and not everybody's into it, but I was fascinated because I was like, that is class. How are we in 2020 and only thinking of this now?
But and there's those TVs that are basically like wallpaper as well. You can fold them.
Oh
and
my God,
kinda put them on a wall. It's mental.
They are
stuff,
that's stuff out of Star Trek, like.
Yeah,
Class stuff, like. And speaking of Star Trek, that
actually, why do Star Trek have such class technology and then have these doors that go whoosh, whoosh, like seems like the most dangerous
but
door
they
you could possibly have.
there was a cool meme there probably 10 years ago now, but it was a screen grab of an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation from 1990 or 1991, and in it was how they predicted the future. So in it they were getting I watched it now, so I'm a bit of a nerd, but in it, like, the captain was getting his staff reports on essentially a tablet. Their communication devices off-world were essentially a mobile phone, and in various Star Trek episodes there's video chats. This is 1989, 1990 kind of crack, like. So Star Trek predicted the future. I'm just saying.
And Commander Worf face.
Worf.
He's
a Klingon, man. Come on, Jesus. And actually on that, and this is again massive tangent here. We have to talk about Google Maps and smart Wi-Fi. There's a new series with Jean-Luc Picard. Patrick Stewart's in it. It's called Picard. Saw the first 2 episodes. Brilliant. If you're a Star Trek fan, yes. Now, if you're not a Star Trek fan, granted, you probably won't be into it. If you are into Star Trek, though, saw the first 2 episodes, and it really is excellent. So there's my
Okay.
tuppence.
Netflix. Watch the Taylor Swift documentary.
Any good?
Very
Keeps
good.
coming up for me as a suggestion
Very
to watch.
good.
Yeah.
I was like,
She had a
was
lot
like,
to
will
deal
we
with,
just
didn't
watch
she?
this? And I was like, Christ, Taylor Swift, go on. Yeah, we'll
stay
just
up
watch
till
this
late.
bloody thing. Very good. It gives a
nothing
great
in
insight into how she's actually just a bit of a musical genius, like, and how she writes and how she dealt with a load of the whole Kanye West thing had a huge impact on her, and
Mentally.
she went through kind of body dysmorphia and stuff like
Jesus,
mental, all the kind of, and she hasn't really had a proper life because she's been in the spotlight since she was
about 15, is it 14? Or
yeah,
something
like
that?
she was signed and she was famous here when she was like 17. You know,
Yeah.
she was like top of the country charts and the
Yeah.
American charts, and like from there on, you know, it's a bit mental, but really good documentary. And I thought it would have been like a bit bleh and a bit sugary sweet, but no, really good watch.
Yeah, that's good. I keep going with as a suggestion, and just on if we're talking about Netflix, Walking on Cars, you probably saw they're doing the theme tune to The Stranger.
Saw that, yeah. They
it's
tweeted,
really good.
Yeah.
So
Is Stranger good?
really good. So I've seen the first 2 episodes. I told Elena with this on the radio on Monday, and the only reason I haven't gone back to it yet is because myself and Una are watching together, and as you know, it's a mortal sin. It's a dumpable and a marriage calling off type of sin to watch ahead of your partner. So for fear of being dumped, I won't do that. We just haven't had time this week. So we have seen the first 2 episodes, and on a serious note, it's really good.
Okay.
Really good. So Walking on Cars feature in the opening titles. Monster, good tune.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say to me?
The
game. Sorry, before we go any further, weren't you going to talk about the game?
Crash Team Racing, lads.
Class.
What a game! Because I had a GameStop
rubbing
voucher
the
from
balls.
Santa. Thank you, Santa. And went in the last day, and I was like, okay, will I get the new FIFA and put like another €20 towards it, or will I was like, there's no game that I really wanted, and saw Crash Team Racing. I was like, John, Eve might like that. So I got it, and all lads, class. Like, it's just so good. It's like just so enjoyable and straightforward and stressful as. We're trying to do the adventure where you have to win each race.
Yeah.
Jesus
playing together?
Christ. Yeah. What's his name? Dr. Engine. Oh, pain in the hole anyway, that fella. I completely forgot about all these characters, but when you're racing against them, lads, the memories flood back, and Crash Team Racing gets a 5-star review from me. Class.
That's
Definite.
good. Yeah,
and it's good because you can do multiplayer, you can race together, race against each other, and then do the adventurous, but it's brilliant fun.
That's class.
Yeah.
Crash Team Racing, I used to love that game.
Yeah, it's class.
I
So
did
good.
last year, for Christmas last year, I bought the PlayStation Classic, let's say, and it came as a small little yoke and it plugs in USB, but it came preloaded with like 20 games on it, like, but some of the old, my favourite was Tekken 2. I loved that, like.
Eddie Gordo,
King.
Yeah.
Round 2, fight. I used to love that. That's on it. But and funnily enough, Jesus, I bought that. I haven't used it probably since. I played it for about 3 weeks and it's been sitting there.
You were off for a week, man.
I know, but sure, I don't know. Actually, big
No
problem
more
with
days off for you, actually. You just waste them.
The big problem with the PlayStation Classic that time when I bought it is that the controllers are too short.
Classic.
So like you're literally sitting and you're about this far away from the TV.
Classic.
Classic, of course. It'd be better if I could be on the couch and just be like.
Yeah.
And the other thing I regretted buying of the PlayStation Classic, because I did love it, I should have bought at the time the Super Nintendo Classic. Oh, because that had Mario and everything else.
I played the actual Nintendo 64, I'd say, a couple of summers ago, and the nostalgia almost.
It floods back again,
Almost made up for the shitty graphics. Oh my god, playing GoldenEye against all these bots running around the place. You can't even make people out. Mario Kart was impossible because you actually couldn't really see that far.
Yeah.
You're like, is that a turn? That's a turn. It was a rock. Oh, feck.
You get to the point though where in Mario Kart in particular, you memorize it. Yeah. And you know exactly when to press the button. But anyway, that's random classic games chat. The only the other thing I wanted to just bring to our attention very quickly was the Loch Ness monster. This was in the paper today that a Donegal man, fellow by the name of Owen, he thinks he has finally proved that the Loch Ness monster exists.
Right.
And fair play to him.
It's Michael Murphy.
He's got photographic evidence, and it is absolutely undeniable. Look at this picture. I was supposed to show you the picture as well. The picture is
Wow.
it's brutal.
Is
It's like, oh,
I look it up on the phone.
do have a look there,
Alright,
right?
okay.
So just type in
we go now.
Loch Ness Monster proof, right? This, it's so bad. Like, and in fairness, I said to Elaine this morning on the breakfast show, I said, I guarantee you, this is probably just some sort of blob in the distance. He's like, proof. I mean, that's exactly what it is. When I read the story first, I thought, oh, right, okay, it's 2020. Look at the amazing technology we have. We probably got a really good photograph here. Nah, shite. And while he's looking up that photograph, that gives me a chance to say thank you as well. Radio Kerry's listenership figures were released this week, and we have a boost. Brendan has done extremely well in the afternoon show. We on the breakfast show have done really well as well. And overall, the radio station are pretty happy this week. There's a lot of happy, smiling faces
I can't
around
find the Loch Ness
Yeah, there's
Monster.
be loads of photographs. It'll be you'll see it here in the video anyway. There'll be loads
I
of
don't watch this podcast.
there's loads of happy faces
whisper.
around the building this week with the listenership figures. So
Yeah.
if you're somebody who continues to listen, thank you. And if you're somebody who's new to listening to Radio Kerry, also welcome and thank you for that as well.
And if you know anyone who listens to another station or, doesn't quite catch a show or whatever, just beat them up.
Yeah, pretty much throw stuff at them on the
Beat
street.
them up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty. I mean,
I throw pens at people. That's why I don't have my pen that says Brendan on it today.
I wasn't sure we were going to broach the subject.
Yeah.
So going
Lads,
back
I'm
over,
very pissed off because that pen had Brendan on it.
It
My
actually
name
has your
on it.
name written on it.
My
Yeah,
actual
yeah,
name
yeah,
on it. The
yeah.
classic line of, I don't see your name on it. Name on it. And description and explanation of my name on it as well.
Kathy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kathy. Thank you very much. Kathy Trott always tests my THs with that name. And so I was delighted with it. I was off on Monday
And Tuesday. Yeah.
I wasn't here on Friday basically because I was doing the show from Killarney. And the pen is gone. So whoever I see with that pen, and if they don't listen to the afternoon show, I might actually kill them.
Yeah.
And plus, thank you to Shane for these socks. Remember the American socks?
American socks, yeah.
These yokes, right?
So you got no freebies this week? Ha, 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 ha,
No,
ha,
well,
ha.
you see, people weren't sure if we were coming back because we were off last week. So these socks, right, in Killarney Rugby Club seniors, we have this thing called the Turkey Award every year. The Turkey Award, which goes to somebody for doing something really stupid or just being an idiot. They saw me wearing these socks in the change room the last night, and they think that this puts me in the running for the Turkey Award. Like,
I hope you explained to them that Shane
I was like, a
is
listener,
a legend
yeah.
who's sending you those socks.
exactly. I was like, feck off, they're unreal socks. They're like, oh, Turkey Award full of boy. And I was like, jealousy. It's an awful thing, lads.
Dickheads.
Yeah. Never
I'm
liked
going to
them
get
anyway.
beaten up now by the rugby lads.
I do training tonight.
Tommy
actually.
Bow! Thank
I
you
am
for
Tommy
listening.
Bow.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for downloading.
We never went through what I'm wearing today.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Farah shoes.
Oh.
Just Farah shoes. Hi, Farah shoes. These socks.
I thought we were after getting away with this.
No.
We took a week
Reverend
off.
jeans. iPhone with cracked screen.
Oh, jeez.
No boxers.
Actually, do I have any calls there?
Have this t-shirt thing and this grey jumper, which is Carboni. Cavani.
Stefano Conti.
Stefano Conti. I've been called that a few times.
Yeah. Carboni. Is it Carboni?
And
I just realized somebody drew on the wall.
and it was definitely you. And Daniel Wellington watch.
Thanks to Brendan for updating us on his wardrobe this week.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the usual
Almost
crack.
forgot it.
Enjoy your weekend.
I might watch it this week. Actually, it was a very good episode.
We'll talk to you next week. Hopefully. Who knows? Well, wait. Next week is Valentine's Day. Who knows? We could both be single by next week. We keep going the way we're going, huh? All right, okay. Good luck. Have a good weekend.
Bye. Bye.
One more?
Bye.
Good luck.